wanted to start today's video off by thanking everyone that participated in the last video. The comments are great, they're well thought out, and extremely valuable to the community that follows this channel. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll link it in the description, and there'll be a card at the end of the video that you can just click on and it'll take you right there. The topic of this video is my second most asked question from the main channel. The first one is just aggravating. We'll get into that and maybe a live stream sometime. As you saw from the title, it's all about employees or helpers or business growth. Why I don't do any of it. I don't have employees, I don't have helpers, and I'm not trying to grow a construction business, a remodeling business, a handyman business. I'm not trying to do any of that. It's me from the future, literally 5 seconds in the future. If you guys are committed to growing your business and managing your employees, managing your customers, you need a system to help you out. Jobber is an app that you can use on your phone and on your computer that does it all. From your employees, your customers, money in, money out, materials, it's all in one spot. Now I have a special landing page on their website. It'll be linked in the description below. You go to that link, you'll see a picture of me. There's a little bit of business advice that I came up with to put on this page. And you can download Jobber and get started at a discount. You at least need to try it and see if it works for you. Links in the description. And it confuses people, and understandably so. I guess we'll start off with why I don't have a helper. One is I find that I don't need a helper. They cost money, and the ones that are affordable, they're not good for business. They usually don't have a vehicle. They don't bring their lunch. They all have a criminal record. Now, I used to be an under-the-table hourly helper. Back when I was in high school or in college, but times have changed. College kids are not out to do manual labor at all anymore. High school kids, same thing. I would entertain the idea of a $10, $12 an hour, 20-year-old kid, 18, something like that, but that's just not the demographics that I live in. A quality individual that I could tolerate being around is not going to go do manual labor. They're not. Times have just changed. They're probably on a paid internship doing graphic design or something. So now let's go to a legit employee. Those guys are expensive. You have to pay taxes on them. Their FICA tax, you have to pay 7% of that. Unemployment insurance, workman's comp insurance. Put in the comments below what else, what other fees are attached to having a legit employee. Now you can 1099 someone. That is where you kind of release your liabilities on all those fees, and you put it on the guy, the employee. So they have their own insurance, they pay their own taxes, and that's it. Most of the guys that have their act together and can afford their insurance and pay their own taxes, have a vehicle, most of them are in business for themselves. There's a few that aren't, but they're expensive. It's just an expense. And if you do the math, maybe the area that you live in doesn't pay as high as mine does. There's a specific price point that you are limited to in certain regions. Every place is different. People are willing to pay me a lot. I like keeping the money for myself. And I've done this experiment. I've stopped doing the experiment, but 5, 6 years ago, I would tell myself, okay, it's going to take me X amount of time to complete this bathroom remodel. Now, if I want to go easy on myself, I'm going to hire a fictitious helper, and I'm going to include their fee into my estimate, which would be about $700 to we'll call it $1,000. So I say, okay, I'm going to raise my price by $1,000 to see if someone's willing to pay that, so that I could pay an employee, and I get the job. I'm like, wow, I just made an extra $1,000 that I don't have to give to an employee. I said, well, okay, well, we'll just keep that as a standard, and the next one I'll estimate or bid it up to, an extra $1,500. And they pay me that too. I'm like, wow, that's an extra $2,500 that I wasn't making 6 months ago. And I get to keep it all and not give it to an employee. Because I'm making all the extra money, I don't need to fill my schedule out and have that high volume of jobs that comes with having employees. You got to pay these people more. And in order to pay them more and still make a profit, you have to do more work. And what that introduces is more stress, more anxiety, and more business stuff. Stuff that I don't like doing. I like dismantling plaster walls. I don't like managing people, managing jobs, invoicing, running around town, chasing work. What that means is going to estimate here, going to estimate here, going further than I like to drive to get a job, to keep the employees working, to keep the machine working. Staying self-employed, it just is simple, and I keep all the profits. If I was growing the business, I wouldn't be doing the manual labor. The profits are the same. The profits are the same. And most of the time, when you're growing a business, you're feeding the profits back into the business to grow it and grow it to a well-oiled machine that you can then sell. Or it eventually becomes profitable and you can start taking dividends out of it. And the reason you have to wait so long is you need a large market share. You have to have a huge reputation and a large marketing budget so that people know you, so that it runs itself. It's a big job that I don't want. What I have found is that I take all these profits that I don't give to employees and I invest it. I'm investing in things that give me passive income, which are rental properties and the stock market. And the whole stock market thing, and whether it's mutual funds or index funds or different IRA plans, that's a topic for a different video. You got a guy, let's call him the Handyman, and he has built a nice remodeling company. He's got 5 or 6 employees. They got trucks. We have a shop. Maybe it's this shop. And he's got an office. Maybe I turn that room into an office. Or it's another standalone building. And it's going good. Why is it going good? Because the economy's going good. It's going great right now. Say there's a downturn in the economy. Well, the demand for my work is going to follow that downturn, especially a downturn in real estate. People aren't going to be investing as much into their home. So now I can no longer keep the guys busy, and you got to let them go. And I got to shut the office down. I got to shut my shop down, and I'm back to being self-employed because the demand is gone. A perfect example of this is 2008. I watched dozens, more than dozens of companies, very successful, or what you would perceive to be as successful, thriving businesses, from landscapers to painters, framing companies, all of them. They're gone. They went belly up. Why? Because they put all their money back into the business to get more contracts, hiring more guys to handle those contracts. All their money, all their business is gone. And now the economy starts to come back. And they're like, oh, it's coming back. Hey, calling all the guys, get them all back. And they're starting from scratch again. They're building it up. They're reacquiring more equipment. They got the shop. They got the office again. And it's just a repeat. But they got to work, and just to get to the point where they were before the recession. The recession will always come. Take the other guy named Handyman. Stayed self-employed, took all his profits on the upswing, the peak, which we're at right now, and he is stuffing that away, sending it off to his financial planner every single month. He's got it. I got it dialed in. It's just a few clicks of the mouth. Boom, there's $3,000. That's all I can afford this week. Hey, I just landed a deal to make a 30-second video for an Amazon seller for $3,000. Bring it in. Click, click, click. Another $3,000 goes off to the financial planner. Get a little off on tangent there. So I put all my money into the stock market, IRAs, mutual funds. I also put it into real estate. Same recession comes, hits me. All my stock values go down. All my real estate values go down. Boom. But what happens next? Okay, the economy starts coming back. And this is the difference for me. It's my mentality. I don't have to do anything. I don't got to work. I can go call the guys. I don't got to go chase down more contracts, find my old contacts and build the business back up to its old value. I don't do any of that. I just wait and watch, and it starts climbing all by itself. All by itself. And if you look at the stocks, if you look at real estate, today's value versus, say, 2006 and a half, 2007 values, they're higher. So I didn't do anything except wait. It came back up. Sure, there'll be another recession. It'll go down and it'll come back up even higher. The whole time, I'm still feeding it. I'm still feeding the money in there. That's my main deal right there of why I don't have employees and why I'm not growing a corporation, like a big company to sell. I guess you would say I'm going on the lower risk side. I find that putting all your money, all your drive, all your energy into growing a construction company is a higher risk than staying simple, and also keeping that anxiety and that stress manageable. When you get a big company and you're still running it, you're the president, you're the CEO, whatever you want to call yourself, but it is a very high stress and high anxiety career. I'm trying to avoid that. I'm trying to bring my stress and anxiety down and have a real easy life because I am ridiculously financially free. And I don't have any yahoos running around the job site injuring themselves and then suing me or trying to sue the homeowner. That's what you get with the under the table guys. My real world experience comes from both sides. I've lived it in 2008 working for a major home builder, and I'm living it now as a self-employed person, learning from the mistakes of what I firsthand watched. I remember this one landscape company. He had the contracts, I think, of all of our job sites. And we were doing 350 homes a year and growing up to 380 homes a year. And I want to say this guy had like 90% of the contracts for the landscaping. Whether it was massive retaining walls, you like that, massive, on a hillside, or if it was just sodding a regular flat, house, flat lot. We always looked at him like, man, he's a baller. He's rolling in it. Look at him. He's rolling up and he's like pimped out. Back then, what was the fancy truck back in like 08, 07? I don't know what it was. But we all thought he was rich. Well, the market crashed. Everybody lost their job. And that landscaper had nothing. He had one house, one truck, and he was back to doing manual labor. Hopefully he figured out a way to ship some money off to Sweden or into the Caribbean or something like that. But I just saw so many guys lose everything. So if you've got some experience like that, personal observations, put them down below so that we can all learn. I think that is where the value of this small YouTube channel is. It's in the viewers and the guys that take the time to help everybody else out. It's a big world out there. Don't worry, we're not creating competition for ourselves. That's going to be a video in the future about the home services industry. In my opinion, won't be based on, well, it can be a little bit on experience, my relevant experience now, but it's a speculation of what the future holds for the home services industry.